we get a new angle of my room today. Okay? So you can see some like posters and like artwork from like friends in the background, which is peak. And you can see Iguru from Demon Slayer. Anyways, someone's been missing their ex, and that someone is me, okay? So there's actually, I've dated a few people, and right, and there's like two specific exes I miss, okay? So there's, so one of them, I'm gonna straight up say her name, because like, why not, right? But the other one, we're gonna keep that one a little personal, and we'll just call him R for now, okay? Anyways, so there's my ex-girlfriend, Maya, who I broke up with like not too long ago, actually. And I think I did state that in one of my earlier videos. I kind of miss her. The whole relationship was like not really healthy, I guess. Not I guess, it wasn't at all, actually. From some of my close friends, specifically one close friend, she would basically kind of hear me complain a little bit about my relationship or whatever. Um Anyways, right. I kind of miss her because like, okay, so throughout the relationship, right? Which I'm going to mention was an online relationship. Not my proudest moment, but I was in a state of desperation, and it felt nice to just have someone, even if they could like care less about me. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. Take what you can get, right? And anyways, she one of the first questions she asked me when we were first talking was, "Can I see your scars?" We're not going to get into the context of why she asked that. Anyways, that was one of the first questions she asked me. Before like asking like my name and age and stuff like that. Just to, I don't know, a little bit of reason for like conversation, I guess, whatever. Anyways, that was that was one of the questions she asked me. And I remember looking at it, I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. No, I'm not gonna tell you guys whether I actually sent a picture or not. Not gonna get into that. Anyways, yeah, we were talking for a little bit. And like, it was cool. She was pretty chill, and she like called me like pet names and whatever, and I absolutely loved that so much. And she was very sweet over text, we'll say. And then she asked me if I would be her boyfriend. I'm like, well, I mean, why the hell not, right? And like I said, I was kind of in a state of desperation for just someone, because I'm a lonely piece of shit. My love life is horrible. Absolutely horrible, okay? Anyway, so I said yeah, and we started dating, and it wasn't that bad. She when I first agreed to be like her boyfriend, right? She mentioned that she was hypersexual, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I don't really care. You know, I mean, like, cause like hypersexuality isn't something you can really control, right? I'm not gonna judge you for that. And when after she mentioned that, and after I said, yeah, that's fine, she then asked me, she's like, what if I ask you for like nude photos? I'm like, as long as that's not what you're using me for, and as long as when I say no, you respect that boundary, and this is really important. She did say, yeah, I'll respect your boundaries and stuff. And anyways, moving on, a few weeks go by and everything's fine, right? Um, and like, her constant need for those photos was like, how do I word this? Um, her need for those photos increased a lot throughout our relationship, and it got to a point where it was like every day she was asking me for those types of photos, and it was just getting to a point where it's like, dude, I sent you yesterday, use those photos, okay? And I'm a very, I don't know, I don't like doing those type of things um at all, but it was like when I said no, she would just like beg a little bit more and like stuff. And if I said no, she would sometimes do this thing where like she would just disappear off the face of the internet and just not talk to me at all. And and to be fair, I can be a really clingy person and sometimes a little sensitive and other stuff, all right? Other stuff. You don't need to know. And other stuff. So the first time it happened, I'm like, well, whatever. And then it kept happening multiple times. And it was like, well, I don't want her to like disappear from me. So I might as well just say yes. And like sometimes she would like kind of pressure me into like sending photos and whatever. And it kind of worked, not gonna lie. Yeah, it was getting like, yeah, it was getting to a point where it was like every day she was asking me to send photos, and um it also got to a point where she was asking for videos too, which is absolutely crazy. I'm not a porn star, all right? Um anyways, it was, oh my god, it was really getting to a point. I was getting frustrated. But you know, uh I still stayed, by the way, and that lasted for like what, 5 or 6 months. Um, the only reason I broke up with her was because someone said to me that it sounded like I like the dynamic we had than me actually liking her. Um, so that got me really thinking if I actually liked her and whatever. But the actual reason too is she didn't answer me for like 3 weeks. So for like what, 3 weeks I I was like waiting for an answer for her. That just proves to you how loyal of a boyfriend I am, okay? Um I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have waited like a month before actually breaking up with her because she wouldn't answer. I was gonna wait a month too, actually. Before actually breaking up with her. Oh my god. Anyways, besides that, she was kind of there for me a little bit. Um, she never really asked many questions, like personal questions about me or anything at all. It was kind of just like she asked for photos or and stuff, and like maybe asked me about my day and how I was doing. Um, I don't know. I was always like first to like actually um how do I say it? Like, I don't know. I was like, how do I word this, guys? I was like always asking about her and like her day and stuff, and it eh, yeah. I don't know how to word this at all, guys. I'm like losing my train of thought here. Anyways, it wasn't much conversation that we really had, as much as I was trying to get like any type of conversation starting with her. And it was kind of more of like, sometimes she'll ask how I was and how my day was, and she would say that she missed me and that she loved me or whatever, and then like ask for like photos and stuff. um she also liked to just she also liked to do this thing where I would ask her about her day, and sometimes she'll say that she had a horrible day, and I tried to be like as supportive as I could. I'm like, is there anything I can do to make you better, like, you know, did you want to talk about it? She's like, and she'd be like, no. Like, well, is there anything you want me to do, And she'd be like, well, the only thing that's gonna make me better is if you send me something. Like, what did you want me to send? And she'd be like, she would say that she would like want me to send like another like, nude photo, right? And that was like the only thing that could like make her day. And then yeah, anyways, that's Maya. It's very clear on why I shouldn't miss her, but like, to be fair, having something is better than nothing. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm sometimes a real sucker for compliments, and so sometimes just like seeing like the text come through that I was like, handsome and whatever, kind of made me feel a little bit better about myself, type of thing. And like, I don't know, it was just also nice to just have someone there, like, that's like more than a friend, right? And that's kind of really what I liked. I don't know. Anyways, that's my ex-girlfriend who I miss. And I don't know, I've just been thinking a lot about her, and I wonder how she's doing. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I think she probably was like talking to other people while we were in a relationship, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was actually true. But I have my suspicions. It's not like I can actually like go and like ask her about it anyways. Um, anyways, but that's Maya, and yeah, I do miss her. I don't know. I like the compliments and like the little pet names she called me. It was very nice. um, my other ex, this one's a guy. Okay, we dated in grade 8, and um, right, he was a lot better. Okay, I promise, guys. He was better in some ways. Um, the only thing I regret is getting into that relationship in grade 8, because I was really depressed at the time and I was going through a lot of things, and home life wasn't the best for me at the time. So if I was just like a little bit not depressed, then like I think it could have worked out, honestly. And I wouldn't mind like hashtag let's run it back, gang. But anyways, right. Um, I I also miss him. This is so stupid. But I really do miss him. Um, it's like, I don't know. Around this time we were actually dating, right? Um, he he broke up with me sometime in August. of 2024. Around there. Anyways, our relationship was actually not that bad. If you hear it from my friends, they're gonna tell you that it was that bad. And anyways, he treated me pretty good, actually. He was always there for me when, like, I was having, like, my really rough times, and he was really caring and stuff. He also had his moments where he wasn't the best. Like, we would be... Okay, I'm a very affectionate person, and when I'm dating someone, I'm a very touchy person, and, like, I like to, like, hug and hold hands and stuff and in public and whatever. And it was very obvious that, like, he was very shy about it, but he wasn't very shy pushing me to the ground every time I try to hug him. That was really embarrassing, by the way. No, he'd, like, actually shove me really hard that I genuinely would fall to the ground. There was many instances of that happening. That was... That's all I can say. It was just embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, had he just told me that he didn't want that, I would have listened. There was no need to push me to the ground, gang. But, I mean, push me into the bed, I might let you. I'm joking, okay. But anyways. That was actually stupid. But anyways, there was that. He also made me, like, sneak out in the middle of the night to see him. And I'm never gonna forget those nights, honestly, because when I like... Okay, so the first time we were like texting. It was like midnight. And he was like, I don't remember most of it, but I know he was like, he wanted me to, like, come over, and, like, he wanted me to sneak out really badly. And I remember I was like, I really didn't want to, and I was scared. Like, what if something happened to me if I actually did sneak out, and, like, what if I got caught and my parents, like, ripped me to shreds? But, like, part of me was like, I really do want to, I really do want to see you. And he was texting me, he was like, just follow your heart type of shit. And I eventually did end up sneaking out, which, sneaking out is pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie. It's just, I wish it wasn't for him, okay? Like, I would totally sneak out, but, like, not for a boy anymore. I'd probably sneak out just to go drinking with some friends. Like, sign me up for that, gang. Anyways. Yeah, I ended up sneaking out of the house to go see him. And like I said, I'm never gonna forget those nights, because those were the nights where, when I was over at his house and it was just us and no one else around, middle of the night, and he was just, like, such a different person. And that was a side of him that I, like, just adored. And he was very, like, calm and, like, very loving towards me. And we could just talk about anything, and it was like amazing. And we would just cuddle on his bed and stuff, and those are really precious moments to me. And I don't know, he was always there for me in a way no one else has been. And it's just, sometimes I look back in our relationship and I wonder if it was maybe my fault our relationship had completely fallen apart. And it kind of is, because my parents and the way they are. I get that sometimes, you get a little bit worried when your child is like out with a boy and whatever. You never know what's gonna happen, right? And my parents were completely right for that. It's just, they were the reason my relationship with him fell apart, and I miss him so much. He's in the same high school as me, and I see him, and like I'd see him every day at school, and sometimes like I just want to know how he's doing, Our breakup was a little bit messy, cause like stuff that I told him, I was like really personal. He used that against me after we broke up, and like we got into like some stupid argument, or whatever, and like he used like personal things that I told him against me, which is absolutely crazy. And like he spread rumors about me to some people that him and I both know. Some stupid, outrageous lie that when someone came up to me and asked me about it, I was genuinely blown away by how anybody could believe this stupid rumor. I had to stare at this person for like 5 seconds. I'm like, do you actually believe that? And I was just blown away. It was absolutely ridiculous. Anyways, and some things that like I'm into that are like also personal, he was telling everybody about, which is crazy, because like as much as you hate someone or like don't like someone and like they tell you something personal, I don't care how much you hate that person, you should not go around and be telling like personal things that they told you, right? It's just absolutely ridiculous. But, and like outrageous, but like that's what he did. And I don't really care so much, but it's still crazy to me that you could just tell someone's personal information like that, okay? It's just absolutely crazy. But anyways, times like these, I kind of miss him, though. Because, before that argument, okay, it was summer 2024, right? Absolute worst summer as well. But it's not as bad this year, because in 2024, I was genuinely begging people to talk to me, and he was one of the people that I also was begging to talk to me because I had no one else but him back then, really, and whatever. But anyways, other than that, I swear to God he was a good person, guys. Okay? He, I don't know. Guys, what was this whole video for? Also, please tell me if you do like the new angle, because I might just start recording like this. I look absolutely stupid. My hair looks really bad, okay? But I swear to God, I washed it yesterday. And, yeah. Also, like, this is off topic, but, my parents have been nice to me, and it's been freaking me out, I'm not gonna lie. On Monday, I was, like, sitting on the couch, right? And my little brother, he's touching my feet. No reason. And I'm like, can you stop touching my feet? Cause like, what the hell are you doing touching my feet, okay? It was just stupid. And then my mom gets mad at me because I didn't let my brother touch my feet. Are you kidding? So so she was mad at me from Monday till like what, yesterday? Which isn't that long, but like that's how long she was mad at me for, and just treating me horribly. And then like yesterday she came into my room and she's like, "Hey, I'm sorry about yesterday." Which she meant Monday. Anyways, she's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry about that," and whatever. And then like she like tries to hug me or whatever, which is really uncomfortable, by the way. And then like not even like 2 minutes later, she calls me fat, which is absolutely crazy, by the way. Anyways, my dad was being nice to me, and he was like yelling and screaming at me this morning. Like, he bought me a Monster, and I got 2 Hershey bars. I absolutely love these, by the way. I love Hershey's, so after this, these are gonna be devoured, okay? And I'm also really tempted to drink this, and I'm going to, okay? Anyways, please come back to me, bro. Oh god. There's also another person I miss. He's like not an ex though. He's a friend. Was a friend. At least I consider him a friend still. He does not consider me a friend. I also miss him because he was also like a really good friend to me. Anyways, so yeah, guys, I kind of miss those 2 exes. Come back to me, bro. God damn it. Because like I have friends who like I can be like really open with, and I can just say whatever I want to them and like be personal, but like it's, I don't know, it feels different when like you're in a relationship. Whoa. When you're in a relationship with someone and you can be open and honest with them and like, you know, tell them what's been bothering you, whatever, and they're not gonna judge and whatever. And like you can have that with friends, but I don't know. I like being open and I guess vulnerable with a partner. And I don't know, I kind of just miss having like I just hate being single. I don't know. I'm not a independent person, if that hasn't been noticeable. Okay? Anyways. Oh my god, it looks stupid. Guys, I really do need tips on how to take care of this shit hair. I'm sick of it. Anyways. That's your update, guys. Okay? I've been genuinely missing those 2 exes. Maya and R. Come back to me. Anyways, I don't know. It's when like I get lonely like this, I just start missing the not so good people in my life. Oof, gang. But I don't know. I don't know what's happening with my hair, bro. Anyways, hashtag let's run it back. You know, I'm, you know, I don't know. You know what would be like absolutely amazing and heavenly is having 2 partners, okay? Like at the same time who like know about each other, right? That would just be like so heavenly. And every time I see someone on like my For You page or whatever, like a video comes up and it's like a polyamorous couple, I get like really jealous because like that could be me, okay? That should be me, okay? And I also saw a post today And it was this girl, and she's like, when people think I'm LARPing being into puppy boys, but my boyfriend is genuinely a puppy boy. And it's like, fuck, that should be me. That should be me in that, you know? That should be me, okay? I should be the boyfriend, right? Anyways. I'm sick of being single. Um, I need to open up my Twitter DMs. All the old men are gonna start hitting me up, and I don't know if I really want them. But I mean, like, they are gonna be the ones who are gonna have to watch out for me when I turn 18 years old, and I'm at that legal age, right? They're gonna be the ones who are gonna have to watch out for me. Yeah. That's so stupid. But anyways, I don't know, guys. That's your update. I don't have Netflix anymore. My dad stopped paying for it, and I've been really bummed out. I'm a huge Lego Ninjago fan, okay? I don't play about that. And so the new season of Rising Dragons is like coming out, right? I don't know. Has it come out, or is it coming out soon? That I don't know. But I really want to watch it. But I haven't watched I haven't watched all of Rising Dragons Rising or whatever. I haven't watched it all yet. And I was watching it, but then like my dad stopped paying for Netflix, and so I'm kind of devastated. I need to find like an illegal website to like pirate it on or something. It sucks because I don't even remember what episode or season I was on, so it'd be a trouble having to find that. Yeah, back in that phase again. So yeah, that's the second update, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna go drink my monster now, guys. Bye.